Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Békés in Hungary. As you can see, we are in southeastern Hungary in an area known, at least in English, as the Great Hungarian Plain. So pretty much the geography of this area is flat land crisscrossed by a few rivers, and pretty much the entire county is just agricultural land. Very fertile, perfect for farming. We will look at Google Earth after this section and you will see the beautiful little quilt patterns all over the land here. It's so pretty. The county also borders Romania, which is going to be important in its history. And the major cities that we're going to talk about are Gyula, right here, and Békéscsaba for here, which is the county seat. You can see there's lots of little towns as well, including just one called Békés, but it's one of those rare times where the town there, which is the same name as the county, is not the capital, Békéscsaba is. But we're mainly going to concern ourselves with Békéscsaba and Gyula. So let's get into its history. I found little bits of history here and there to talk about. I feel like the history could go deeper, but I tried digging and didn't really find too much to remark on. So I know I have quite a few Hungarian viewers. If you feel like I skipped anything like huge, I'm going to probably skip over World War II, to be honest, because not much happened here. I think there was one Allied bombing in, I want to say, Békéscsaba, the train station there. But that's it for World War II. So I'm going to skip over parts, but maybe there's some World War II fact that I skipped over or at some point in history that just didn't pop up because maybe the websites I needed were in Hungarian and they don't appear in my Google search. You can go ahead and drop those down in the comments below. I'd appreciate that. But here's what I did find about the history in this little corner of Hungary. It's been occupied for a very long time. Of course, those fertile farmlands help out with very early settlements. The Scythians lived here, and later the Celts would have established areas here. But of course, the most famous ancient peoples to come and conquer through this area were the Huns, hence the name, right? And they would have control of this area after the Hun invasion, which is fun because when we start People's Choice next week, we're going to read a biography about Attila the Hun, so we'll learn more about the Huns then. Spoiler for Viewer's Choice starting next week. But the real history I read really begins in 1566. So throughout the 13th, 14th century, the villages really start springing up, and particularly in Gyula, we have Gyula Castle being built, a good old medieval castle, just picture medieval castle. That's Gyula Castle. We'll look at it on Google Earth too. And sorry for the wobbly camera. I hope that doesn't bother anyone. It bothers me. Yeah, it's still letting this desk settle on the carpet it's sitting on, so it's going to be wobbly for a bit. But Gyula Castle's built. So in 1566, the Ottomans come knocking at the door of this corner of Europe, ready to conquer, and they siege Gyula, and they are successful. And the Ottomans would occupy this part of Europe, Békés County, until 1694, when, from what I read, the soldiers here weren't being sent food, so they abandoned their station, and that was it. Now, once the area was conquered by the Ottomans, all of the Hungarians here fled. in whichever direction they could to safety. So once all the Ottomans left, this land was abandoned. So once it became part of Hungary yet again, the landowners who owned all of this barren, empty farmland pretty much went all over the area telling people, hey, farmland here, come settle. And they reached out to all different kinds of ethnicities, the largest, from what I could tell, being the Slovaks. And there's still a large Slovak population here today. Lots of Romanians lived here, and of course, being on the border, there's still many Romanians here today. Lots of Germans and lots of Jewish people, which can't really say there's many here today because of World War II. You can assume why. We're not going to get into it for monetization and relaxation purposes, but you can assume that. And of course, more Hungarians, which is primarily Hungarian today, but it's very ethnically diverse, mainly among Slovaks and Romanians and Roma and a bunch of other little Central European cultures. And then flash forward to World War I. So at this, blah, blah, blah. At this point, Hungary isn't Hungary. It is part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, right? Which loses World War I pretty bad. And a lot of their land is broken up, divided up into treaties. And most of Hungary, very famously, wound up becoming part of Romania. So the line was drawn right here. So pretty much all of the Hungarians that were living on this side fled to Békéscsaba. And that has made it like the most important city in modern times. Like back then it was definitely Gyula, but now it's this town. And of course, like I said, it's always been farmland, but the food industry really picked up during the communist times in Hungary after World War II. As you know, the Soviets invaded and occupied, and communism came to Hungary. So the food industry became much more like, I'd say, organized. Not so much like family farms, but like industrial food companies, you know, like grains, dairy, sausage was a big one, things like that, which is still pretty true to this day. And that, in a nutshell, is the history of Békés County in Hungary. Like I said, not too many details. I found bits here and there, but nothing too much to remark on. So again, if you feel like I skipped anything major, you can let me know. I'd appreciate that. But hold your horses, though, because once we go to Google Earth, I'm going to show you some other little historical facts about this area. So why don't we hop over to the tablet and explore this beautiful little corner of Hungary. Here we are in Békés County. And let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. I know Hungary can be hard to find for some people because it's kind of smack dab in the middle of Europe. But whenever I have to find something in Central Europe, I always look for the Carpathian Mountains that make this big curve here. So that's how you know you're in Romania. And we know that it's right next to Romania, so we can find Hungary right here. But we can see Poland's up there. We've got former Yugoslavia, the Balkans over there. Serbia. There's Slovenia, of course, Austria, important. So yeah, whenever I have to find something in like this corner of Europe, I always look for the Carpathians, and then you can go from there, whether east or west, north or south of those mountains, because they're so distinguishable from up high, up in space. So where should we start? I guess we'll start in Gyula, because there's lots to show you here that I didn't talk about in the history section. Over here, this is Erkel Fenrent's house. He wrote the national anthem of Hungary. So his house is a little museum now with lots of cool clothes and his kitchenware and his piano, things like that. Pretty neat. Little diorama there. Old stove, and this is an awesome outfit. That looks very cozy, doesn't it? That's important. Over here, we have, well, I guess we'll start over here. This is Gyula Castle. There we go. And it's, like I said, just a good old medieval castle. And they have lots of events that they host here, so you'll probably see some pictures of that. One of the mansions we might look at later. Yeah, like here. A good old castle. Oh, look at this big, long table. And the chandelier here, very medieval, isn't it? And a classic suit of armor. Very cool. All the weapons here. That's pretty neat. Yeah, good old classic medieval castle with beautiful brickwork. All restored. A cool bed. Looks kind of uncomfortable, to be honest. Says Gyula. With a little heart there. That's cute. Old-timey table there. Old-timey kitchen and the dungeon where the prisoners are kept. But over here is a bit more of Gyula's modern history. I think it's gonna pop up. Come on, anything. That's the old house we might look at later, but I really want to show you. Here we go. That's the one I'm looking for. This is a thermal spa, which was built in the 1940s. It's this whole complex here with this thermal waters here that you can enjoy the health benefits of, and I'm sure it feels fantastic. Probably smells really stinky. And this says, wow, Hungary. Wow, Hungary. I like that. Look, you got the water slides. It's so fun. You can get dunked there. And just go swimming and enjoy that relaxing water. So you know where I'd be if I ever visit Gyula. Look at all the people in there. It's like a regular fountain, but it's a swimming pool. Just people chilling inside. Big old water slide. That's pretty awesome. The other place in Gyula that everything I read mentioned it, I have it tagged in here. Right here. Of course, I figured out I have to close and do it again to make it work when it does that. The 100-year-old confectionery. So this is normally a place I wouldn't mention, but everything I read about Gyula mentioned this place, so I guess I have to. See, lots of yummy cakes here and sweet treats. This is also where I'd be if I ever visit Gyula. I would just be going back and forth between the spa and the shop selling all of the cakes and candies. It's my kind of place. But I bet you that this place does little tours of the old parts of the shop to show you how these have been made for over 100 years. I wonder what these red ones are, maybe marzipan or something. Yeah, nice and quaint, isn't it? Little chocolates. Cute furniture. And so yummy. These look fantastic. I want this one. That's the one I'd try first. Yeah, little slices of cake you can enjoy here. Pretty neat. Now in Békéscsaba, I didn't find too many cool slideshows, but I did find, oh wait, I I just remembered something else in Gyula I have to show you, but we're going to look at this first. Just the basic slideshow for the town. You can see the Catholic Church and the Lutheran Church. Because, of course, when all those people started moving in from all across, like, Central Europe, they brought Lutheranism with them. Though Hungary's always been historically Catholic, so you've got, like, a mix of the two religions in this part of Hungary. And the brickwork in this church is really, really pretty. Look how nice. Different colored bricks there. Pretty neat. That's a cool museum, but the slideshow pictures weren't too great. But it's a house where a famous artist lived, and now it's an art museum. Oh, what I have to show you in Gyula, I just remembered. I have to show you, it's so cute. Oops, I'm in Romania. Don't you hate it when you accidentally wind up in Romania? Let's see if I can find it. Wait, I forgot where it was. Oh no. Why does this always happen to me? I just stumbled across it by accident. And it was really funny. Here it is. It's the Sausage Museum, which, I mean, Gyula sausage is famous, but now it can be like, this is where the sausage is made. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I had to make that joke. All right. Let's look and see what else we can find around here. There are some pretty cool old houses. This one's pretty neat. I remember an old mansion there. Oh, that's just like a field. But over here, I think it's this slideshow. No, it's this slideshow. Chateau Wenkheim. This one's really cool. I like the tower. It looks like a chess piece, like a rook. And the little bridge connecting the house. That's pretty awesome. Beautiful manicured garden and church inside. Really, really pretty. There's also, I wonder if I can find it. I was just poking around before I was filming. I'm trying to find cool little slideshows. Oh, this one, yeah. This one is abandoned. Look at this. Oops, sorry. Wow, it's very, like, haunting, isn't it? All spooky and abandoned. The old abandoned lake here, all unkept. Sadly, some graffiti inside, which is not nice in places like this. There's a majestic beast. The new residents. The current residents. Yeah, all the trees not trimmed and manicured, and this is a little ominous. That's a little spooky, but these guys don't mind. It looks a little haunted. I wonder if this here is a picture, probably what it used to look like. I wonder what happened to it. What else do we have? Mainly, I just found little slideshows of the countryside. And I'm definitely not going to remember where those are, but we're going to find one to close out the video. Oh, see here you can see all the beautiful patchwork of farmland here. Isn't that so pretty from above? Like a bizarre quilt, all the different colors. Let's see this one. Oh, here we go. Not many, but they got their bike. Very kind of spooky countryside. A little bit of a haunted wood vibe, you know. I enjoy that vibe from a distance. I'd probably get creeped out if I was in the woods like that for too long. You can see the Koros River flowing through there. Let me throw up the lines of the county so that we don't wind up in Romania again. Not today. Very soon we'll head over to Bucharest. But not yet. Békés County. There we go. I think I found some good ones up here in the north. I know in the south I was looking down here. Wonder if I can find it. How like the farmland kind of changed color, but I think it's just because of the seasons, you know. Like this picture was taken in autumn, but then this picture was taken in springtime, maybe summer. Maybe. It's probably just a satellite thing. Let's see. One last good slideshow somewhere. Maybe this. And of course, I have no idea what any of these say. That's too short of a slideshow, but these trees are very pretty. These aren't spooky at all. These are lovely. I like those trees. Let's see this one. Oh, a cute little hut. Alright, this one's a big slideshow. Look at the geese. How cute. Alright, let's watch this and close out the video. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the tablet portion, be sure to subscribe now, because tomorrow's video is going to be just tablet, because we're going back to the Seychelles. Oh, the geese. And you're going to want to see it, because we're going to go to 2 areas in the Seychelles, and one of them, part of it is in Victoria, the capital city. And we're going to see some tortoises. We're going to see some beautiful mountains and beaches, and some coco de mer, the world's largest nut. That's in the shape of a butt. This is in the shape of a goose. I like that. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Oh, what a sweet pig. If you learned anything neat in this video, give it a thumbs up. Give this rooster a thumbs up. It's a beautiful rooster. Let me know any fun facts you learned down in the comments. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good night. Good night. Good night.